Hi guys, and welcome back to another year of our preschool circuits being on the videos. This week our theme is just back to school, so you'll see a lot of back to school props around the circuit. And then our focus is just like intro to gymnastics, intro to moving our body, safety at gymnastics, all that kind of thing. So here we are at circuit 1. The first thing I want to go over, you'll see sitting spot is in the middle. You'll see at circuit 2, sitting spot is in the middle. I'm going to try and keep it that way. Obviously, if the circuit gets a little filled, that might change. It might move back here. But we're going to try and continue using the sitting spots so that you guys know where to line your kids up. I just find personally that when I put it in the middle, you're explaining, they get to see everything from the middle as opposed from all the way back here, and you're trying to explain the station over there. If that makes any sense. But yeah, so here we are. One theme that you'll see in the circuits this week is a lot of repetitions, just because we don't want to give them information overload. So it's going to be a lot of repeating things. That way your instructions can be clear and direct and not confusing, because there's different things at every station. So over here, we're just going to lay down on our cheese, arms above our head, and we're going to log roll. Then on our bosu bow, we're just doing ta-da. Again, keeping the directions clear and simple, so that way we're not doing a whole ton, and you can explain to the kids all the way from the other side of the circuit if you need to. Over here, we're hanging on the bar, and we're just stepping our feet all into each side of the sticks. Then over here, standing on our beat board, hands on the bar, we're just like balancing on the bar. If they can jump to front support, that's awesome. If not, no big deal. This is just about figuring out how to put weight on the bar on our hands, and that is it. Again, another repetition where we're just doing our log rolls down the cheese with our noodle above our head. And then up on here, we have our stork stand positions. They have a picture, and they're just doing a stork stand. And then finally over here, hands on the bar, putting weight on the bar and just pushing it as we walk. To give a challenge, you can just do jumping feet apart and together on each of the the numbers, if you want to challenge your kinders and your minis. But if not, if they're brand new and that would be too much, I would just push the bar. But that is it for circuit 1. All right, guys, so we're at circuit 2. Like I explained earlier, our sitting spot's in the middle. That way you can explain, and they can see every part of the circuit when you explain. Over here, we have our plates. There's going to be school supplies in each plate. So they're going to walk with the plates on each hand, walk up the plank and down the plank. Then over here, we're just getting used to jumping off the beam or falling off the beam. So on each side, we're just going to jump off and land on a motorcycle, or we can just step off and show our motorcycle position. Then we're going to go through our donut and jump into this donut. Over on our crayon beam, we're walking with our eyes closed. And then we're finally just going through the tunnel. And that is it for circuit 2. All right, guys, we're at circuit 3. So over here, we're just doing donkey kicks with our feet on the trampoline, hands on the box, climb up and jump off, showing our motorcycle position. We're going to repeat the same thing, donkey kicks, climb up, jump off. Then they can just grab onto the rings and hang, do a tuck hang, anything like that. Just getting used to grip the rings. Over in our donut, we have a position. They're just doing a stork stand. And then finally, on our last beam, we're doing marches over all the school supplies. And then there's one last position of ta-da inside the circle. And that is it. All right, guys, we are at circuit 4. This is our interchangeable circuit, so every week might look a little different. Our focus right now is line drills. So this circuit is done every other week for minis and twinkles, but kinders do this every week. So we really want to start off the bat by teaching them how to do line drills in a controlled manner that is still fun and interactive. So what you're going to do is you're going to split your group up into 2 teams. So one team here standing behind the half circle, the other team behind that half circle. The first person gets to stand on the dot of each team. They're going to grab a ribbon, and then you're just going to ask them to do a locomotion. So we're going to start with tippy toe walks, and they're going to use the ribbon, and they're going to walk all the way down, tippy toe walks, drop the ribbon down, and sit in the circle. That's it. Then the next person, your next 2, can go all the way down. Once your whole group has made it to this side, now we're going to move on to running. So your first person's going to line back up at the dot, and you're going to take your ribbon and run. And then we're going to do bunny hops, and we're going to do bear walks. And then I would even try some long jumps. How long can you jump? And that is it. So you're just going back and forth. You'll notice it's very small because we want to keep them nice and contained. I find when we let them go the whole length of the floor, they get a little overexcited and they want to run around. So this keeps it nice controlled. They still have ribbons to keep it fun, and that way you can actually focus on your line drills. But that is it. These hoops again are used for sitting areas while they're waiting for turns, and you'll see them over here as well. And that is it.